You may have seen this type of a ring with intertwined vine and the throne before. It looks really complicated, but it's quite easy to make. Hi, I'm PJ Chen, an authorized Rhino 3D trainer. Today, I would like to take you through my thinking process and also step by step to show you how I make this ring. Let's get started. Here's the command you probably will use. Control point edit. We're going to use a lot of editing on the control point, and then we'll rotate them into the certain angle. After that, to make it into solid, all we need to do is sweep one with the history on, so that allows us to edit to pull the vine higher or lower. Then we can edit the cross section, which is going to make it really organic looking. And then we will make the throne separated by sweep 2 and place them individually on the vine. First of all, we're going to start at the front view with the circle. Center at a 0, like most of my tutorial. I will give the radius is 8 or diameter is 16. This will be our inside of the ring. Then I'm going to edit this, because if I just turn on the control point, you can see I only have those points. It doesn't give me much room to edit, and it kind of give me the kink here. So what I like to do is I need to rebuild this circle. I'm going to click on this curved circle, and I'm going to rebuild into 6 points. You can rebuild into any point that you like it, depends on how many waves that you like. I would like to keep it simple, but have my wire can be thickness to be thicker, so I would like to stay with 6. And let me turn them first. Let's go to turn on the gumbo, and I would like to turn it into 30 degrees, so that way the point is aligned with the axis. So I'm going to my perspective, and I'm gonna pick up those points, and you have 1 point in between, and I'm going to move it 5 units, so it's going like this way. And next time, because on the top view, now I'm off center. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pick up this one, and this one, which is opposite than the previous one we pick. So instead of going to 5, this time I want to go -5. So now we get the curve like that. I need to have 3 of them. That means I need to move this one, rotate it 40 degrees on the right, 40 degrees on the left. So let's see if that's working well. I'm going to copy Control C and Control V past, so I have 2 exact the same curve. Let's see if I want to rotate it 40 degrees here. That will be my second curve. And I'm going to turn it into the red color so it's easier for you to see. Now with the original curve, we're gonna do one more time, Control C and Control V on your keyboard. So we got 2 exactly the same curve. This time I want to do is -40. So that kind of, and let me turn it into the green color. So that kind of gives you an idea for what we are looking for. To visualize in the 3D, I'm just gonna pipe it really quick and gonna turn the radius is 0.8. Oh, that's really fat, but that kind of gives you the idea what I'm going for. Now it does look like the ring that I showed you earlier. What happened is the ring that I had has some sort of up and down. Now all of them are the same level. I do want to have some is going higher, some is going lower, so it looks more natural. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go back one more time. I'm gonna go back to where my original curve is. Now we know the basic structure. We need to build the first one and then we will rotate it. The first one I have, to make it really organic looking instead of piping, we actually need to creating the cross section. So here's what I will do. Go into the top view and I'm start drawing the circle. The circle is just a reference for how thick they are going to be. 1 millimeter we just try look really fat, but we are going to change the size anyway. So I'm gonna stay with the 1 millimeter, which is the radius is 0.5. And I'm gonna make few copy by drag the gumball, hit the Alt key. You can make few copy. To make it really look different, I would like to have 6 different profiles. With the circle that we have, I'm going to use the straight line and just randomly do some pattern on it. Then after that, you select everything and then trim the part that you don't need. And while you're selected, try to hit joint. So those are where it's going to cut into the branch and they may appear a little bit too sharp. So I would like to do is to do the fitted corners and then fit it for 0.1 millimeter. So they are kind of rounded. I'm going to repeat the same process, so there will be fast forward the video that will shorten the time. To recap the process, we randomly draw a straight line around the curve, the circle curve, and once we finish, we use the trim tool to trim the area that we don't need. I know it's a lot of clicking, but I would rather to do this way to create different type of a curve so it won't look manufacturing. And once we are done, we want to fit at the corner. Now all 6 of them are done. I'm going to select all 6 of them and trying to align the center for them to align together. Next I'm going to do is bring this to where the quadrant is. So let's go ahead to rotate it for 90 degrees like this and move them all together, snapping into the quadrant. So when we look at the perspective, all 6 of them stay at the same place. Now what we need to do is one by one, we want to move it evenly out for this circle. We can randomly to pick any one, and with this one, I'm going to rotate it from the 0 for 60 degrees. And then we're gonna pick up the second one. From there, we want to go for 120 degrees. The third one, it's going to go for 180 degrees. The fourth one, it's gonna go for a 240 degrees. And then very last one, we want to go for minus 60 degrees. So if we look at the perspective, we have them evenly out to all the degree there. The next command we are going to do is sweep 1. It's living under the surface, sweep 1 rail. But before we click that, we want to click where it's on the bottom. Here's record history. And then we will go with the sweep 1 rail. We pick up the rail and pick up the cross section by order. And you need to make sure that all the arrows, they are aligned and face the same direction. So what I do is align them to the quadrant. which is the bottom of it. I see this one is in the opposite way, so make sure that the arrow is aligned and facing the same direction. All right, and then hit enter. Then you will get this a box coming out. Make sure you close the sweep. Hit OK. So now we have this, and let me show you why we need to record a history. If we wanted to make this part a little bit bigger, we can scale it and it will follow. So that's a really nice tool to have to record a history, but I don't want to change anything now. I will change later. Next step, what I like to do is make another layer and copy everything to that layer. So I'm gonna make this layer into the red color. All right, and then I'm going to turn the first black layer off, and we don't need this one. The reason we don't need this one is even though now I try to change it the size, the history doesn't follow, so we need to do that one more time. We no longer need this surface, so just go ahead, delete, and we want to select all of them. We want to turn in 40 degrees clockwise, and we want to go with record history, surface, sweep one rail, repeating the same process like a black one. Pick up your curve and select the rest of the cross section. Make sure all the arrow is aligned to the quadrant. And they are facing the same direction. Now we want to close the sweep. Click OK. Just want to double make sure it's working. So we would like to scale and make sure it's working. So undo. If we turn on the black layer, you're going to see we create the second one. Now we need the third one. So I'm going to turn off the red layer and have this one create have the black layer duplicate layer and the object. So now I have a copy. I'm just gonna name it layer 11 and turning into the green color. Now let me turn the black layer off. With this green color, I want to make sure that they are turning in opposite direction, minus 40 degrees. We are doing the same things. We want to record history. Go to the surface, sweep one, and pick up the rail and the rest of the cross section. And once again, we need to align them to the quadrant and make sure all the arrow is facing the same direction. So let's move it this way. Once everything is right, click enter, close the sweep, hit OK, and double check by enlarge one of it before we move into the next step. So now it's working. We're gonna do undo. So what we have is 3 different layers. They are similar like what we had done for the pipe. Now we just need to adjust them to the right location that we want. So for example, I would like to have this going up a little bit. So I kind of make it a little bit bigger. And the reason I like to do this way is because I can control it to make it really organic. So I can actually rotate it and make it bigger or smaller, and also pull and push if I need to. So I'm gonna fast forward here to do all this adjustment, so you don't have to watch me doing one by one. You are going to spend some time to find the best position for each of the cross section and the size. I'm just gonna leave it there and finish the rest of it. So the following step is making the thorn. I'm going to go to the top view, and it doesn't matter about the size right now because we could just change it later on. So I'm going to use the gumbo holding the shift, and then while holding that, scale it down and hit Alt key. So I'm gonna bring the smaller one up and tilt it a little bit. And then I'm gonna draw two arcs. First arc going to be like this. The second arc, it's going to be like this. All right, so the following one, it's gonna use the sweep tool. Go to the surface, sweep tool. So this is the rail 1, rail 2, cross section 1, cross section 2, and then we got this surface right there. Once we have it, I'm going to use the patch tool to patch the make sure that you select the surface edge, not the curve. If you select the curve, it will be flat. So make sure you select it will look like this, right? So make sure you select the surface edge. So again, we'll go into the patch, and then we will select the surface edge. Okay, hit preview, and then you have a very nice bump there. Make sure we close the button, so use the command CAP to close it. So now we have this. I'm going to bring on the top of the ring and kind of scale it down to some proper proportion and bring it down like this. This might be still too big. I'm gonna scale it down a little bit more and bring it down like this. Okay, and we are just gonna randomly to rotate and copy. So I'm gonna pick out the object and I'm going to hit rotate. Center is 0, type is 0, and right here on the command bar, make sure you want to copy equal yes, and you just copy as many you want. But try not to do like even space. Try to do some like uneven. So you just spontaneous to click on whichever you like. So I'm just gonna do a few sample here. Once we are done, we're gonna go here, and because they are on the same, because we're using the rotate, we don't need this. Because we are using the rotate, so they are kind of in the same line. So I'm gonna move this one here, scale it down, have it sit in so we can do the bowling, and if it's come up too much, you can adjust it, and you can also adjust the angle of it. So each of them, although they are coming from the same one, each of them will look a little bit different. And I also would like to lock those so I won't accidentally to click them. So again, this one may be too fat, so I'm gonna scale it down. And you can also scale 1D, it doesn't have to always be 3D. All right, so I'm gonna have this coming down a little bit, and you can rotate any angle you like. All right, so it look like one is coming up. I'm gonna do one more here, and then I will fast forward to showing you how I finish this. And if it stick it out, you can always scale 1D and also turn it over or turn it in the angle, something like this, and have it sitting a little bit more, or kind of make it longer. Okay, so that's fast forward to see how I finish this. I spent some time to tweak it so it look a little bit more decent, but you're going to spend time to experiment on them, like the certain angle and how comfortable. If it is a ring, maybe this throne is like stick out too much and you need to adjust it. The rest of it is just a matter of bowling. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today for making this throne ring. Please like, share, and comment on my video. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. That help me to create more free video. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.